I live south of Glendale, and there's a bank. I live south of Glendale, and there's a bank.
Okay, cool. Oh, lol, they have that. Hello?
Testing.
Hey.
Hello? Oh, maybe I need to mute the testing. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. I just muted the Twitch.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
a
I
good
was
idea,
getting.
so it doesn't echo.
Yeah.
Let me just add the channel real quick. And then we can... I've actually never done Visual Studio Live Share, so I'm not sure how to set it up, so we'll have to figure that out.
Cool. Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, so I have this little thing here, and I want to join basically your session. All right, enter the name to display to other participants. Okay, so I think what you need to do you have the Live Share plugin?
Probably not.
Okay, so you're going to need to install the extension for VS Code. If you just go into, I think you can just get it from here. Yeah, you can just download it from the VS Code store. Hey Lulu, yes, this is a new format today. I'm going to be peer programming or pair programming with people.
Is it just the first one?
Yes, it should be created by Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Plateris.
Okay, it should be installed now.
Okay, so do you have a new icon on the left now?
Not yet.
You probably have to reload.
So just reload this window.
Yeah, you can just close out of VS Code and reopen it.
Okay. I didn't get the icon yet.
Does it say that, does it look like this, where it has reload, disable, uninstall?
Let me go back there. Live share. Yes, live.
Hey Frost, so today I'm not going to be building anything, but I'm going to be just like working with other people's stuff and answering questions. Hey Panasar. Twitch extension GitHub. What is this?
It should be installed.
Oh, that's pretty neat. I should get this. I have not tried out fly cut yet, but I will be giving it a try shortly. Pollux, you haven't set up in Next.js yet? Well, I can definitely help you out with that later if you want to be next up. How much time are you going to give per person? I'm thinking about like 10 to 20 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. How often am I on Twitch? It's right now it's been pretty sporadic. I want to be around at least once a week.
Oh, there it is.
What am I using to pair program? We're going to be using VS Live Share. Oh, okay, you can't share it because it's for work. What part are you stuck on right now? Hey, Viable Clan. Just gonna bookmark this over here. How many
This
monitors do
should
I
be
have? Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
it should be set up.
Okay, so I think what you want to do next is I think you just want to click on the icon and click Start Collaboration Session, or Read Only Session, whichever one makes more sense. How many monitors do I
Oh,
have? Currently, I just set up a second monitor today, so I have 2 right now.
cool. So I can invite others. Should I do that?
Yes, or do you get a link?
I don't see a link.
Let me click on it and see what it gives us. Okay, and then I sign in with, let's see, I'll sign in with GitHub.
Oh, I can send you a link.
Okay, yeah. Send me a link in Discord. All right. Cancel. Okay. Okay, so I think I see it. Do you have currently an empty VS Code up?
No, I have a project up.
Okay, it's starting to download it. Okay, cool. I can see stuff now. Metis is a cool GUI for Redis. That's sweet.
Ah, cool.
All right, so I guess we're ready to begin. So if you want to just like talk about what this project is and what I can help you out with.
Sure. It's a simple React project. It is using React stock charts for data or for displaying stock chart data. And so right now I have it set up for a chart so the user can come and add a ticker symbol and get a stock chart. And they can also get a quote list that works with WebSocket or socket.io.
So is that like getting real-time quote updates?
Yeah. So it does real time in the quote list, and the stock chart gives you real time at the moment you input a ticker symbol. Um, so, but one of the things I thought I would talk to you about is I'd like to set it up so that when the user enters ticker symbols in the quote list, that I can save those to a database and get auth working.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd probably look again at one of your projects using Prisma Typeorm and just follow that and integrate it into the project.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. So have you started on any sort of server yet?
No, I haven't set anything up server side.
So do you want to get started and like set up a little server right now?
Uh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's create, I guess, just like a new VS Code project to start with it. Or like a new folder, I
Okay.
guess.
So, is that something I need to do on my end then?
I think so. I don't know if
Yeah.
I can like create a file and it creates it on your screen or not.
Yeah, probably not, I would expect. Okay. Let me think. Let me think. Okay. Hold on. Let me get. I have this habit where I like to use iTerm for initially setting things up, and then I use the terminal and the other. Uh, check out. Give me a second.
So it looks like I just tried like opening up the VS Code terminal. It looks like I can see my files.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I can also share the terminal, Lulu says, in VS Code Live Share. So if I need to see any terminal stuff, we can.
I'm sorry, I missed that last bit.
So you can, we'll be able to share the terminal if we need to in VS Code.
Ah, okay. Cool. Cool.
Also, you can share your browser so we can see and everyone else can see what the project looks like if you want to show that.
Oh, okay. How do I do that?
Chat, how do we do this? Let's see. Press Command P or Control P. Localhost. Okay, he needs to do that, and it'll pop up for him. So if you do Command P, do you see stuff when you type in localhost?
Let me go back there. 1 second. So what do I do for, I need to search for that?
Yeah, so hit
Command P.
Yeah, Control or Command P.
And then search for...
And search for live share localhost or something like that.
I'm getting no results. Live share localhost.
And did you put a arrow before the live share part?
What kind of arrow?
What is this called? Oh, greater than sign. Greater than sign.
Oh, greater than. Okay. I got no matches.
So when
Oh,
you type
hold
live
on.
share, do you see stuff?
Yeah, hold on. I just did that wrong.
Okay, shared server.
Okay, now I've got a list. Share terminal. Oh no, share localhost.
Yeah, shared localhost I think is what you want.
Yeah, I'm not getting... I don't see that on the list.
Do you see something about sharing servers? Oh.
Share server.
Yeah, try that.
Okay. Okay, it says it's shared now.
Yeah, it looks like it's working. Let me just bring this over here.
This would be really cool if that works.
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't send any data, huh?
It looks like it's still loading, so it could just be taking a second. Because I imagine this is like... Nope.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's spinning.
And do you have the project started?
Yeah, it's running.
It looks like it is the correct port. 3012 is look like what he's running on.
Yeah. I'm not sure which would be faster for you to build it or to to download it.
Yeah. I mean, we could just skip this part then, and we could just start working on the server.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a... I'm getting prompts to log in here. getting these repeated prompts to log in to Microsoft Live Share in the keychain, but it's not. Oh, maybe that worked. Okay. So I made a new folder.
All right, so I think you just want to open that in VS Code now.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link.
Cool. Yeah, Panisar, I'm gonna be creating the front end in Next.js soon. All right, so I'm gonna just close the other one.
I sent you a link for the new folder, which is just an empty folder.
That's fine. We'll start from here.
There you go.
Okay, so let's just init the project. So actually, yeah, can you share your terminal too so we can share that?
Sure. P
Yeah, Apollo Auth does work with cookies. Can you create a good video game without knowing programming? Just art. I feel like with Unity you can like probably do some drag and drop stuff, but I've never really made a game, so I don't know for sure. Okay, cool. So I think it shows me your terminal now.
Yeah.
So you just see me type ls? So when I do stuff in the terminal, do you see it or do I just see... Oh, it says read and write. Do you have
I
your
see it.
terminal up?
Yeah, I gave you read write.
Okay, cool. So let's initialize this. And then a few questions for you. You have like a few choices here of like how we get started with this. We're probably going to use Apollo. Should we?
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you want to use... First off, let's decide whether you want to use... Do you want to use Prisma for this? I haven't done Prisma in a while, but it'll be interesting to try.
Well, you have another suggestion?
If you don't choose Prisma, my next favorite option is Typeworm.
I go with whatever you think. I know I can look at. I think I was working on one of your video series. I didn't finish. I'm pretty sure it was Typeworm.
Mm-hmm.
What did you use that for the Stripe one?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just do that because we probably won't finish, and I'll just go back and look at that and use that for login.
Sounds good. So then let's come over here to Apollo. Let's do getting started. And let's just get the Apollo server running first. That's usually like the first thing I like to do. So let's go to getting started. And we're going to use the Express version. Let's do this. So we'll start with creating a source folder. And do you want to do this in TypeScript or JavaScript?
TypeScript's fine if you want to do that.
Sweet. We also need to add a tsconfig to this. So we'll install Apollo server. DJ Dosen, I'm using this thing called the audio is all from my side, but I'm using this thing called Show You or something. So you can hear the audio from Discord or from my computer. All right, so what I just install? Apollo server. Let's also add TypeScript. Wait, you like Prisma more than Typeform? It depends. One thing that's missing for me with with Prisma is some PostgreSQL columns are not supported. So we can just do a init. So this will add a tsconfig for you.
Cool.
I don't see it getting added though. It says successfully created one. Maybe I refresh this here. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah.
All right, so now, we should also grab TS node and TS node dev. So that's what we're going to use to actually start the server. So let's import that stuff from Apollo server. So we'll just create a start script and we'll just say ts node dev on the index.ts. We'll see if this works. We haven't added GraphQL, so let's add that. All right, try going to localhost 4000, see if that started up.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna kill my machine running the
live share and the
yeah, because I'm running this this Prisma app.
Yeah.
The Prisma GraphQL thing.
From Docker?
I'm forgetting. No, the playground.
Oh yeah, the Electron app.
Yeah, if we can run graphical, that'll work.
Yeah, if you just go to localhost 4000, you can access it from your browser, or you can go to you can access it from that.
The graphical?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in there on I'm seeing the playground, but
Okay,
I'd
so
prefer to use.
But you
I'd
prefer
prefer
to
to
use
use
the what's it called?
graphical.
Oh, versus the GraphQL playground. I see. I don't
Yeah,
know if there's an option to add it with Apollo right now, to be honest.
oh really? Well, so far my machine's not overheating, but if we start using this playground, it's gonna just go crazy.
Even the browser version?
Yeah, actually, I have also the desktop version, but they the desktop version is better, but this one, the browser one, will really overheat the machine.
I mean, you can go ahead and close it right now. We don't
Okay.
really need it right now.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. I think the way to get graphical to work would be to turn off Playground and to add graphical as like an express middleware, which we could do.
Okay, that sounds like too much headache for right now, though.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I think the next thing that we want to do is add. So we can either add express to this or we can add typeorm to this. I think the best thing from here. Yeah, I think that like this is going to be pretty standard following the Stripe series. So I think the best thing from here is probably just to follow along with the Stripe series until you run into a problem.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know if there's anything else you want to do.
Oh, this is cool to chat, show you my project, get a little bit of a start on the server, confirm that I should work on that series, and then I can hit you and the group up in the Discord later.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Cool. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Eric. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, great to be here.
All right, guys. Who wants to go next? I don't know how I unjoin. Maybe click there. That works. I heard Koa had better support for TypeScript. I was wanting to do that. I just haven't tried out Koa yet. I'm not building anything today. Today I'm just answering questions and pair programming with people. I finished with the first person. Free food. Would you like to go next? Any advice to jump into TypeScript? I recommend going with this one. 5-minute TypeScript intro thing. Start with that. Sure, Liqueur 13. All right, let me call you. I'll ping you in Discord. Yeah, your friend can join too. Just like invite him to the voice chat.
Sup?
Hello? What is this madness? Okay, it looks like both of you are in. Can you guys hear me? I really like to try, but I heard that converting JavaScript to TypeScript takes time and makes you hate TypeScript. The conversion process is like, you could say isn't the funnest, but the nice thing about it is you can do it gradually. Are you answering questions from Discord as well as Twitch? Yes. But I'm not checking really Discord right now, so if you it's best to just post in Twitch chat. Panisar, I'll probably be doing this in the future again. Has anyone ever done schema stitching in GraphQL? I don't think I've done remote schema stitching before. I've done schema stitching, and I think you just use... I'm pretty sure there was a Apollo thing that I saw. Yeah, so I used, where is it? Merge schemas. So it looks like this is the strat. I want to be a game programmer. Is this skill still useful in indie development? I mean, there's always going to be a need for game developers. Ionic for React is here. You want to know how to create relations across remote schema. Is that advisable or good practice? That kind of feels ugly. Why are you wanting to make relationships over remote schemas? Do you control both schemas? Okay, I see. So you want to set up a microservice setup where you have multiple different services and they might have GraphQL types that bleed together. So let me ask you this. So are you having like a bunch of GraphQL microservices? Or are you wanting to do a single GraphQL service that sits out in front of a whole bunch of
Hello?
services? Hello? I just heard you for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just I can't hear you. Just one sec.
I don't know if it's better to do like a bunch of GraphQL microservices or if you're gonna have like a GraphQL microservice or sorry, a GraphQL gateway that sits in front of everything. I actually don't know if it's better to create a bunch of GraphQL microservices that sit behind it or a bunch of REST microservices that sit behind it. I'm not really sure which one is better.
All right. Can you hear me? I can finally hear you.
Yes,
I
I
just
can
had
hear
to
you.
move over to Windows for Discord.
Yeah. Are you good to go get started?
Yeah, I guess I'll just start the collaboration session in VS Code.
Perfect. And then just send me the link.
All right. Sign in to proceed. The fuck? Oh, I have to log in with GitHub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have I tried Flutter? I have not tried Flutter. I do want to give it a try. It does look interesting. I think it does have some advantages over React Native.
It's in the Discord.
Cool. Let me copy. All right, I think it's working. It's downloading your files.
All right.
All right, I can see stuff now.
All right. What can you see?
Okay, so I
Uh,
see.
I-
Let me see. I think I can do it so where I could just follow you. All right, yeah, I'm following your cursor right now.
I'm on line 12 on the file cart.tsx.
Yep. So why don't you
I
tell
just
us
run the
like what this
file.
project is first, and then what I can help you with.
Well, real quick, it's just a restaurant app that uses a bunch of technologies like Next.js, TypeORM, TypeScript, what else? Redis, MySQL, to be more precise, MariaDB. I'd rather not go into the detail too much as to what the idea is, but just a restaurant app, that should be enough to, get the context.
Yep.
Um, Basically, we also use WebSockets, or to be more precise, Socket.io, to make orders from the front end to the back end. And we aren't very confident as to whether we have accomplished this goal in a clear way or a good way, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because we basically just made it in a day because we had a deadline. And I don't know, I guess we need some code review. I don't know if that's like the best
Yeah, we can
thing
definitely
to
do a
ask.
code review. So first off, my first question is, why
All
did you
right.
go with when you're creating orders, why are you like creating them using a WebSocket versus just sending like a post request, for example?
Basically, we want to keep a live connection.
Mm-hmm.
If say you're ordering it from your phone and you place an order, and I want to just have like live feedback whenever the order has been accepted, or is in progress, or after it has been finished.
Okay, so you're keeping the status of the order and that's being like
Yes.
reported through WebSockets. So you don't actually
Yes.
send like create order through the WebSocket. Okay.
So the way we initialize our socket connection is through React context.
Mm-hmm.
You can check it out in the file. What is it? Card context provider. Um, uh, I don't know. Like, does live share like follow which file I have
Yeah.
opened? Does it?
Yeah.
Or
I'm basically following
it,
your cursor. So whatever you see in VS Code, I see in VS Code.
all right, that's great. So
Okay, you're using local forage. Nice.
yeah, mm, basically right here we initialize the connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then onwards we just call methods from the context. Basically, for example, we have sort of like a Redux style kind of thing. It shouldn't be here. This code. Oops. Whatever. It works.
What are you guys storing in local forage?
The current order. Basically, if you say have added a bunch of products and you close your web app, your
Mhm.
browser, it's still gonna persist. And we clear it right after you have placed the order.
So when you say it stores like when you create orders and it uses it to persist the orders.
Yes, and after you have placed the order, it clears it. But we have a plan to store all of your previous orders in local storage, just so you can like keep track of them.
So is the idea like in case the user is offline? Like why is it
Uh,
necessary to store in local forage at all compared to just storing that on the server?
because it's unsure whether the person will place an order or not, I guess. Like, why bother storing it in server side?
Oh, so they haven't
Uh,
actually sent the order yet. They have just like
yeah,
put items in their cart, for example.
yes.
Okay, I follow. And so
Uh,
is this just a website or is this also an app possibly in the
it's a
future?
web app.
Okay.
Yes.
Because one thing that came to mind is,
Yes.
what if they don't like check out, right? Then you do save like the creation of those items server side. But also, I don't know if this is a concern
Uh,
at all. Sorry, go ahead.
we don't. We just store them in local storage.
Exactly.
That's
So I
that's.
don't know if it's going to be this ever comes up, but if you ever have the user log in a different browser, for example, their cart is going to be empty, right?
We don't have accounts for the users. They
Okay,
use
so this is okay. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so that's why you need to use local storage is because they're not logging in. Okay,
yes. We have accounts, but it's only for administrators.
gotcha.
Yeah. And after we have made the connection in our context, we add the listeners, I guess, in our component mount, and then we unmount, we remove them in the component will amount. I guess this is how it should be
Yep, that's good.
done. And one thing that I had to deal with is, so I store the information in local storage,
Mm-hmm.
and basically I do that on there's an input field for a comment if you want to add a comment to the order,
Yeah.
and on every keystroke it just makes a new not request, I guess. It just saves it to local storage, and it's sort of unresponsive versus just not having it. Like it's this
Yep,
handle
because
comment.
every single render, it's also saving to local storage.
Yes.
So
what would
the
be
easy
the better
fix
way to do
there,
it?
yeah, the easy fix there is to bounce it. Are you familiar with that?
No, what's that?
So basically, what debouncing is, and this is like a function that you can just add, is instead of saving it every keystroke, let's say I type the word Bob.
Oh, you just added delay. Yeah.
Exactly. Whenever they're finished typing is basically when you save it.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, I guess. Hmm.
The other thing is, I don't know how you're doing your form data, is
We use undesign.
okay, so their
which
form
Hello, can you hear me?
component.
we use undesign. However, I don't use their form component here. We do use it in different files.
So where do you
Here,
store
however,
the state for the form?
sorry,
Where do you store the state for the form?
the state as to whether it has been submitted or what.
So like before, like what happens in handle table, I guess.
In handle table, it just
Okay,
it
so
gets called.
you're storing the state in the context then. Okay.
Yes, so that it persists.
So do you have a giant context that you use in a lot of different places then? Okay, this is just the cart context. Okay.
This is just the cart context. We have another context which is, I think it's actually almost redundant at this point. We used only for the socket connection for the admin panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this point is current. Yeah, I think it's redundant.
I guess we could merge it into one big context, but I don't know.
I was just wondering if you had it or not. I do think I do like it better split up.
Yeah. What would be the best way to handle it? Because right now, if they're all in a single file, it does get quite confusing.
Yeah, I think it is. I think how you have it now is good. And so the other thing I was going to say is usually for forms. So like the only thing that you basically are recreated almost like a Redux form effect. So every keystroke, is it rendering everything that has access to the cart context?
Sorry, what?
So on every keystroke, right, it's calling handle table.
Yes.
Which is calling set table in the context. So that's going to cause everything that is connected to the context to update. Is that what you want?
I mean, there's only one thing that outputs that. It's the input. There aren't other fields that also render what the value of the context.
Okay, so you only have one listener for the context.
Yes.
Okay. Because what you could do is you could store the form data locally.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Like, we might not even need a context if we're just storing them in local storage either way, right?
Yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing is, like, you could only save to local storage after the user has like submitted the comment.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't actually need to save it on every single keystroke or every word that they finish. You could just say it whenever they save it.
Yeah, like we have a method which is place order. We can just do it right there.
Yeah, I think that might be a good place to do it.
Yeah.
But what if somebody types something in the comment section and then
refreshes.
Go back to the menu and then go back to the cart, so the comment is gone?
Yes, so that's something if you guys need that to be persisted when someone does something like that, and it's likely that someone's going to do it like that, then yeah, it makes sense to save it.
So the bounce would be a great solution, right?
Yes, to bounce, or you can also do on blur. That's another option.
Oh yeah,
So like
that's
even if they click away from the input field and like say go back to the menu, that's going to cause a blur,
Mm.
and so then you'll be able
I
to.
completely forgot about that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so that's another one. So like you have a couple different options depending on like what makes the most sense on what your users are going to use.
Yeah, I guess. Um, may I ask, is the way we handle like loading spinners a good way? Go into the render method, and basically we just check if this dot state is loading from local. If it's set to true,
Mm-hmm.
we just set our data to a spinner,
Yep.
and then else we just do our normal jazz, and
Yep. And then you
then
just return data at the end.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
okay.
You'll be able to do
Um,
what's it called? Suspense soon.
yeah, that's we're hyped for that.
Yeah, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. By the way, did you know this trick? Go into line 160. Are you there?
Yeah.
And rather than having all of this junk, you can make it all to just this.
Yeah, I really like that. I use that occasionally when
Yeah.
like my component matches exactly what the object is. Yeah, I'll use that. It's super nice.
Yeah. Um, can you help us out with how we should do our file structure for the front end? Because right now we just have a components folder and it's large. Not that large, but it's unorganized.
Yeah, and it's just not going to scale because if you just have more and more components, it's just going to have a giant file.
Yes.
I'm not like I don't have a favorite like folder structure slash I haven't found one that I love, but the one that someone sent to me recently that I've been trying that works out decently is called the Fractal Pattern. I can
The
send
Fractal
you guys the
Pattern.
link to it.
Alright.
This seems to work decent.
Alright.
And so basically what you do is you'll create a file because the other way I've done it is like create a bunch of folders. The idea is basically you want to group stuff by features instead of grouping stuff by like what they are. So right now it's grouped by, and I haven't actually changed this in my project yet too, because with Next.js, everything's kind of broken out by pages, components, config, context. Instead, you should break it up between like admin, categories, carts, that sort of thing, users, orders,
Huh.
and then each feature, like the admin feature and the cart feature, will have its own components.
I see. Mm,
Viable clan member,
we
what are you talking about with promise any? In what context?
sorry, you mean like line 54 of card context provider?
Oh, sorry, I was just answering someone in chat. What were you saying?
Oh. I thought you were asking about our code because we use promise.all
No, that's fine.
right here. Okay.
So wait, so does local forage return promises then? I actually haven't
Yeah.
used local forage before.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
We are trying to Dockerize this entire project, like both the backend, the frontend, MySQL, and Redis.
Mm-hmm.
And we run into some troubles, like more like conceptual problems with how Docker should work.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I have a question. Can you actually like use Docker Compose to build an image and like have that image?
I believe it would. I
Is it
believe
common practice?
I think some people do it. I don't know how common it is. Usually I'll just build the image and then I'll use Docker Compose. So I don't know how many people actually have it build. I don't think it's uncommon per se. I don't know, chat. Let's see what chat thinks. But
Since
I think it's fine.
uh, since we basically want to Dockerize, all of them into a single image,
Ye- Wait, okay, so you
and
want to,
we'll
what do you mean you want to Dockerize them all
go
into a
ahead.
single image? Won't you have
Yes.
multiple images?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think shouldn't you have an image for the front end, image for the back end, image for the
Yeah, we do
database?
have that. We
So
have
what do you mean by
those.
Dockerizing it into a single image?
So right now, if it doesn't work, but if it works, you would type in Docker Compose up, and it will just run everything, right?
Yep. So you want to set it up where you just do Docker Compose up and it builds the back end, builds the front end.
Yes, for just so that it's ready for production, I guess.
Well, okay. So how are you guys wanting to deploy this also?
Uh, how do we explain it? It might sound a little weird, but we just want to deploy a single, I guess, Docker image to Raspberry Pi. We don't want to go into detail. It's a sort of an IoT project at the same time,
Uh-huh.
and we want to make it as easy for us to deploy it, or at least to set it up. So just a single Docker image, like pull it from somewhere, and then just run it, and just have all of it working, all the dependencies, backend, frontend, MySQL, Redis,
Yeah.
and that's the idea.
I think I've never tried something like this, so I don't know exactly how it would all work, but I think viable clan members said use package, and I think that would be an interesting thing to try.
Package like Zeitz, PKJ,
Yeah,
they,
have you
they
guys
had the
looked into
project.
that at all?
Are you talking about this
Yeah,
project?
that project.
Uh, wrong link. This thing?
Yes.
How would that work for database and Redis?
So I don't know if it would run in the executable or not. I've never done a database with that. I think yep, chat says you need to split it. You need to split the database outside the executable.
Okay, but we'd still have to like Dockerize that as well,
Yeah,
right?
I don't think you can put. So are you wanting to put, like, for example, your database and your Redis all into a single image too?
Yes.
I don't like that would be running Docker inside of Docker then, right? Like you
Why?
basically want a Docker image to run your Docker Compose.
Uh, can't you like pre-build the image beforehand on a computer and then like run the finished image, which should contain, all the things. Like we haven't messed around with Docker enough. We don't have any experience,
Hmm.
so we might be like thinking wrong.
Okay, so I've never tried it in the way where you create a single image, but this is what you could do. So, like, for example, you have your backend image and you have your front end image. So, like, what you
Yeah.
could do is you could push those to, for example, like Docker Cloud. And so then what you
Okay,
do,
as separate images.
yep. So you've pushed two images
Okay.
to the cloud, right? Kind of like how Redis and Maria are in the cloud.
They are already, yes.
So, like, you could push your backend and your front end to the cloud as well. And then when you go into your Raspberry Pi, all you do is you say Docker Compose up, and it pulls all the images from the cloud, and then it's going to start 4 containers.
4 containers. Okay, yes. Question: can Docker Cloud be kept like? Can it keep your images private?
Yes.
Do you have to pay anything?
I believe, I don't know how many is free. We can see Docker Cloud. I know I have a single image that I'm using for free right now. You may be able to do more. Yep, Lulu says there's only one free image.
Oh,
So you have 2 images. Yep, DJ says you can either set up your own private one, Docker Cloud, or another option is you could build the Docker images on your Raspberry Pi too.
just store them locally, right?
Yeah. So like
Is that
or like yep, you can store it locally, or like for example, if you have it on like a private GitLab, you can just clone the code off GitLab and then build the images on the Pi
Yes.
and then start it up.
Well, wouldn't that just be the normal thing that to Docker Compose do either way? Like,
So
if
so
we
the
clone the
difference
project there
so the
and
difference
we just
is you build the
run Docker
image.
Compose up,
Yeah, you would run Docker Compose up either way, but the difference is whether you build the Docker image on the Pi or whether you pull it from the cloud.
okay, so you just pull in the finished image.
Yes, from the cloud if you did Docker Cloud. The other way is if you did it like for example with the GitLab, you would pull your source code and then Docker Compose up, you'd have it build the image first.
Okay.
So you either build the image on the Raspberry Pi or you build the image
Yeah, or
on
you
your
just
computer and push it up. Yeah.
yeah, I get it. So then you would pull them and you would run them, as well as you would also pull the MySQL and the Redis image and you'd run them. Okay.
Yes.
So wait, on the Raspberry Pi, you would only have to clone the Docker Compose file.
If you want to build the images, you need to
Yes.
clone your
The entire project.
the entire project. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So another thing that I'm quite confused about is how to handle like environment variables depending on whether you'll be running it in production or development. Since what I have,
is this in relation to Docker and you want?
yes,
Okay, you can use an environment file with Docker.
yep, we have those
Okay, you
in
have
our
those.
backend and our frontend files
Mhm.
folders. However, one thing I have in mind is I basically have this idea in my head where you can just clone the project and with as little configuration as possible build a production ready image.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to just after I have cloned it, I don't want to edit the .env file for production and a separate .env file for development. And here comes another question: how would I have to manage like different environment files for production and Docker production? I don't know if that makes sense, because sometimes you might not want to deploy with Docker, right? Sometimes you have all the dependencies good to go, so you can just build not build but just run them normally.
Like build the images with like Docker run as a compose instead of using Docker Compose.
No, as opposed to using Docker, you just use them on your own computer. You just do npm.
You just start it, sure.
Yeah, you just start it. Yes.
With Node or TS Node or whatever.
Yes. Do I have to like keep multiple .env examples? Because you can take a look in the backend folder. We have like .env .example, and that is an example file for development. However, should we have like a .env .docker .production or something like that?
Yeah, you could. I think that's reasonable.
Actually, will there be a difference between running Docker in development and production, other than maybe volumes? Because in production you don't want to have volumes, right?
Why?
To prevent like if something happens, you don't want the code to be edited. Well, I guess for the data to persist.
Well, yeah, you're gonna need some volume because you're gonna need to
for
have
for data to persist from MySQL and Redis.
Yeah.
So I guess there need to be like 2 more examples with .env, right?
Mm-hmm.
One for Docker production, one for Docker. Actually,
yeah, basically,
the environment variables will be the same.
You're gonna have to create an environment file for every single one.
Case.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just thought about it.
And that's the idea about environment files is you're going to have a different one for each environment.
Yes. Okay. Question. Can you see the file that I have opened? .env.example.
Let me go back to your guy. Yep.
How would I imagine if this is like for Docker and I just want to fill it in? What would I do?
Oh, for the DB name and the DB host.
Yes, and for Redis.
So for the host, if you go to your Docker Compose, here we go.
Yes.
You see how you called the thing
Yes,
DB
the services.
on
Yes,
line
DB. So
25?
do we just type in DB?
Yep, so the host is going to be DB instead of localhost. And then as for
Okay.
the name of the database, I don't know if it's the same with Maria, but with Postgres, you actually pass an environment variable in to give
For
it.
the port, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and for like
So
the database
I just have
name.
for the database name. I don't know about that. Yeah.
And it basically works the same with Redis. So your Redis host is going to be whatever you call
Right.
it in Docker Compose.
Yeah. I have another question, just a sort of off topic, but also very important. For
Yeah.
some reason, when we put one of our fields to have a unique decorator, and then we just kept getting the same error about some varchar constraint or something. And the way we fix it is by having a different different char set in my type
Are
ORM
you talking about
TS
like
config file.
UTC?
Yeah, UTF-8 general CI. And the thing is, you probably know that, but Typeform does not create your database by default. You're supposed to make it yourself, right?
Yeah.
And how would we do that? Because right now, if you just want to work, we have we wrote documentation over at GitHub, and we just copy the same file, the same line of code for MySQL to just create the database. However, how would we make Docker use that char set?
Yep, I see what you mean because Docker is going to create the database for you.
Yes.
So you need to tell it to create it with the char set.
Yeah, with this thing, I pasted it. Somehow we just need to make it run that.
I think. Do you know if there's a way to add that after you create the database, like and update the character set?
Yeah, like you can do a migrate alter table, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
that thing?
maybe you can do like a migration that alters the database itself.
In like type ORM?
Yeah.
Or
so like you
yeah,
could
I guess
create a
that's
type migration that does that. Or the other thing that I was going to say is you may be able to overwrite the create command by passing an environment variable. I haven't done it with Maria. We can look at like what the Docker
in
image.
Docker or for Docker.
Yeah, so if you go if you just search Maria Docker image, it'll tell you what you can pass in as environment variables, and maybe one of them is to overwrite how it creates the database, because I imagine other people are going to need to be able to do this too. So it looks like you can pass in a custom MySQL configuration file, so maybe you'll be able to set it there too.
Yeah, I see. MySQL conf.g. I see like people passing environment variables for their password. Like I'm looking at an example right now. They're typing -e MySQL root password equals some password. What does that affect? Like
that affects the
does it
password
matter?
for the database.
Because the way you'd be accessing the database outside of Docker, right?
So no, so like when they set, you could, but like for example, when they set, like you're telling the Docker image what they should set the password to be.
Yeah, so for example, in my nf example file, you see I'm there.
Yeah.
Rather than password being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will be whatever I have set it to, right?
Yep. So like you would pass, so you need to rename DB. So like either DB pass needs to be the same thing that you pass into the MySQL root password, or you need to sync those and rename it there.
Sync what?
So like you need to use the MySQL root password in both places.
Yeah, by default but the thing the Docker documentation says that it's uh
And in chat
what is the
looks like it
default?
has answers to the UTF problem. Looks like you can
Oh,
try set character set server. Also, John said try copying files into the Docker entry point initdb.
what files to copy? Copy what files?
Go to the Twitch chat and see.
I have closed it. I'll just go
Here,
there.
I will copy paste it. Or here, I can just bring it up on mine.
Yeah, just send it here in the chat.
Okay, I'll just copy paste.
So, where do I have to write this? Like I have to make a separate Docker file for the database, or what?
I think you should try the first one first because that's simplest. And I
But
think
where do I have to run that?
so that's like where you would put it in a migration.
Oh, in a my.
And then the migration would call that query and would call set character set server.
A migration type ORM?
Yes, that would work. And then the other thing, well, actually,
Oh
yep,
wait, this command is set character set server is for MySQL,
yes,
right? It's not for Docker.
yes. The other one is you would put in your Docker file. John said.
Yes, that's what I was. That's where I got confused. In the other two commands that John sent, I would have to make a separate Docker file for our database. Is that it? Do you get this?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know if you have to create your own custom Docker file that spins up. Yep, it looks like you do. He said, yeah. So I guess you would extend the Maria Docker
Yeah, that's
image,
what I expect.
and then yeah.
But I think it's gonna be just easier for us to do the migration.
Yeah, it looks like both are going to be pretty easy, so you can try both and see which one works better.
Yeah. How would we keep like secrets in our Docker Compose? Because is there a way or not?
No, the best
Or
way
is
is to put it in an environment file and then have your Docker Compose read the environment file.
Yeah, but someone would. Yeah, like that's inevitable. Someone would have to fill those in.
Eventually, yeah.
So okay, so if you take a look at our Docker Compose and the environment, we have an environment property.
Mm-hmm.
See, and we just set the environment to production.
Yes.
Would the other environment variables still apply?
Yes, both get read.
So we already have one in my .env file.
Yeah, so if you have I don't know, like this might override it.
We don't have node environment, node env set there.
Okay, yeah, if you have basically .env in your Docker file and you're reading from that and you set one here, both are going to be accessible in your application.
All right, that's good. Speaking of the backend and production, how should you run the app in production? Since that was another thing that arose, we basically run it in development. We haven't figured it out.
I'll show you. Are you talking about just like creating the Docker file for Node?
We watched your video. We have that. Basically, we just do from Node.
There's like a production best practices with Node.
Sorry?
There's like a best practices thing that I usually follow when you're.
I know for Express there was one.
Well, for Express and also for building a Docker file with Node.
Okay, can you send that over?
Yeah. So try this.
Okay. What about not running it in Docker? Just open our package JSON.
Here, I'll just go to your.
Wrong file. I opened. Yeah, that's the front end. I opened the backend now.
Okay, so you're wondering how to run the backend.
Yes, in production. I'm on it right now. Yes, on the bottom. Basically, we just right now we only have a build command,
Yep. So
and in our
yeah, so basically one option, and this is the one I've been doing for a while, is you build it and then you just run it with Node.
okay, but we have to do this, right?
Well, if you're already setting it in, you don't have to set it multiple places. You either can set it in your Docker file, you can set it there.
Uh,
You can choose
but
where to
imagine
set it.
if we are not running it in Docker, you know?
Oh yeah, then if you're not running it in Docker, yeah, then that's a good place to put it right there.
So this index.js, right? Okay. I've seen that this bit of code does not work on Windows and it's retarded. Like you cannot set environment variables this
Yeah,
way.
you just need to use cross-env.
What's that? I've heard of it, but I've never really looked into it.
It's really simple. All you do is you install cross-env and then you say cross-env in front of it. Like you just say, like you just put cross-env right there
Oh yeah,
and you
yeah, I
install
saw.
cross-env and now it works everywhere.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna just send it over here to have it. Okay, that's neat. So, will this work? Can I like build it? Right now it's running. Yarn build.
The other thing that I like recently tried out is not even building the code and just running it with TS Node.
Yes.
So let me
What
send you
about?
TS Node production.
Oh, there is a package for that for production.
Well, you can basically just use TS Node in production if you want to. Here's like a discussion on it of whether or not you should use it.
So I tried running it with that. I built the code first, and then I did node this/index.js, and I got an error. It says unexpected token. Uh, unexpected token curly brace. It's talking about importing. Like it didn't transpile the imports to CommonJS.
Um, does your is it because of your TS config setting then?
What is our
It looks
what
like
is
you
our
have
TS
common
config?
JS and your target is ES6.
Oh, okay. So what should be our target?
I think that target's fine.
Then what should I set? What should I change?
So, can we see the error in the terminal?
I guess I will. Okay, I guess I have to share terminal.
It currently has it as read only, so I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see you typing stuff now.
So I'm building it like usual, and then yarn start. There's there.
Okay, I actually know exactly what's going on. So notice how the if you look at the top line there where it says node 17102, it points to a TypeScript file. You see how it says
Sorry, where?
category.ts? So at the top of the error message,
Yes.
you see how it points to category.ts?
Oh, it's still TS.
Yes, so it's still pointing at it, and so the reason for that is probably in your ORM config.
We don't have like a nor_config.json. We have a file. Like, if you take a look at here. Oh, yep. Entities still point to .ts.
Yep.
Like, I find it.
So that's what's going to be it.
Go to typeform. Yeah, so what do I do?
So instead
right
of .ts, you can do star.star.
Okay.
Or if you want like a different one for production, you can do star.js.
Or, here you can like do like something with environment variables. If I can like figure out how to type, we can have. Would I have to split this? I'll see, but we also we have the same problem with another library that we use. I think that problem would also rise there. Let me just try it out. because it's the exact same thing. We just point star.ts, and in production it would still point to .ts. So will the problem still be there?
I think so, because you want to point it at JS after compiling it, and
Yeah,
so that's one thing where you could try just running TS node in production.
it's still the same. The fuck? I still got the same error.
It's possible. It's possible you may have to say. You may have to add like the directory name. It may be looking for still the source files. You might have to like add the directory name, and it might be you're in.
I think you have to go. Oh, okay, yes.
Like maybe like that
So
may work.
I messed around with this quite a bunch in order to get it to work in development, and this was the final way I did it. Just directly pointing it to src. But let me try. Nope. Still pointing to .ts. Why is it still pointing to .ts?
I don't think we rebuild it. I don't think we did.
I keep rebooting it.
I didn't save the file until after the build started, I think.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, to run. Oh, it automatically shares the port. That's neat.
Yeah, I can.
You should
see.
be able to access.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So will accessing it? Will my frontend work? That's like. Let me try. Okay, it's not running. My frontend's not running. Yarn start.
Yeah, that's what I do, Plateris. You guys can create a separate config per production and per development if you need to. They're using environment variables, which is probably going to be a fine way of doing it too. So it's going to be automatically switching. Sorry, what are you saying, Pollux, about the me query and getting it to work with Apollo off? In CodePonder, when I was setting that up, I was able to get the me query to work. Basically, what happens is you need to send the cookie yourself when you do server-side rendering.
So will it work now?
Internal server error.
Internal server error. What the fuck? Internal server error. What's up? That's a lot of errors. Cannot read properties required of null. My frontend doesn't work. It has to do with a library we use. Page transitions. The fuck? Does it work in development?
All right, Pollux, this is what I'm doing. I'm sending it as a cookie. Or sorry, not as a cookie, but I'm sending it as a token in the header.
So for some reason, like, okay, wait, let me try. So my backend doesn't work.
You need to just fix.
My backend. Sorry?
What's wrong with your backend?
Like, wait, let me try localhost 8000 / products. Cannot get / products. My routes are all fucked. I think I know why. It's the exact same issue. If you go to my index.ts where I initialize all the things, yeah, it's the exact same issue. You can see I have opened it in index.ts. Can you see?
Yep. So you're gonna want to just do the same thing.
Yep. So will this work now?
So Pollux, what part breaks for you? If you're sending the, are you actually able to send the cookie in the header?
So will it work now? Okay, so my backend works now. It's all good, except for the fact that I cannot run it in production.
What do you mean you can't run in production?
Just look at terminal number 4. So I'm building it with Next.js.
Okay.
And then after it has built, I will do yarn start. It runs. However, if I try to go onto any page, will it crash? Yep, it crashes. Is required of null. This was a library we set up today.
Are you
It's
guys
supposed to work.
Are you guys using next page transitions?
Yep. We just set it up today. And it's like doesn't work in production.
I haven't tried that library, so I can't say what's going on there. It looks like it's pointing towards JS files.
If you take a look at our app TSX, the way this library works, you just wrap your component in a page transition component.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see?
Yeah.
And then you just set a class names, prop class names, and then you just prefix your classes with that. If you take a look at the above file, the above lines of code,
Mm-hmm.
you do page transition -enter -active -exit and -exit active, and this is how it works. There's like 4 different classes that you need to set, and it just works. However, why does it give me this error?
Yeah, no idea what's going on with that.
Next.
Pollux, are you getting the cookie in the header? Are you able to see that? Like if you were just to like console.log request.headers, do you see it there? And then like the next thing is if you get that correctly, I'll show you how I'm handling it in Code Ponder. What am I creating? Am I still mute? Nope, I don't think I'm muted. Right now I'm not creating anything. I'm just pair programming and helping these guys with their project. Here's my server index. I think it's in here. There you go. So that's how I handle it, Pollux. And what that does is we now have the cookie.
Oh, there's the issue. Yep, that's the exact same error we have. We also have another question.
Yeah.
Basically, the way we handle orders right now is with Redis. So our front end says WebSocket message to the backend, which just stores the order in Redis. However, we need to have some sort of protection because anyone can just edit their local storage or their context or whatever before sending it to the backend, and then just modify the price of a product, right? We have like no connection between our actual MySQL database and our order. In our order. So how should we handle
this? Price is set
in our MySQL database.
So you should be sending only the ID of the item you're buying, and then you should be looking up the price on the server.
Okay. what about like emitting messages? Just if you take a look at our, can you see which file I'm in?
Yeah,
Have you messed around with Socket.io before?
a little bit. Yeah.
So we basically have this code which says send. This is the accept order message. Basically, whenever an administrator decides to accept a given order, it's going to send a message, like a notification, to that the person who has placed it, right? And then also I sent a separate message to the administrators. Is this like, I don't know, a smart thing to do? Because we have accepted order, and then a separate thing, accepted order admin.
So
The idea is,
is the
sorry.
idea? So, are you just wanting? Well, accept order admin. Are you wanting to be able to see any orders that are accepted?
Yes, basically that's the idea, so that only the administrators can see all the orders that have been accepted.
Then yeah, you're gonna have to have two
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Because you don't want the user to be able to see everything.
Yeah. There was some more thing. We have like this weird thing with TS ignores, because sometimes we just like to set like custom properties to our objects. I don't know if it's a common practice to do. Basically, the state. Right here we just, yeah. What's actually a better way to handle states? Because right now we just have numbers 1 through 3.
You could use an enum.
Yeah, that's a viable option, I guess.
Hey, Lindbergh. And I think you just add that type to, like, you should set that as an optional type on order if it's not always there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and one more thing that we had trouble setting up, I guess, was basically we have an array of orders, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And each order has arrays of products and just gets nested, right?
Okay.
So the way we map over all of these and actually send messages to the appropriate orderer is actually, just give me 1 second. So we initialize our socket connection in our context,
Yeah.
and then we actually start listening on the events in our which file was it? Come on. Items, is it? No, wait, that's the wrong one. Oh, is it here? Like, I'm so lost. I guess I'll just do Ctrl-Shift-F and like on. Okay, we do it in the page. Okay, basically we know it's Next.js. We have like page components, and we just start the listeners in our page, and we have a function that uses our state. Can you see the file?
Yep.
It's order.tsx.
Yeah, I'm following your cursor.
Okay. So we have like this thing. Whenever someone has placed an order, we will just call this function set orders, which is way over. Where is it? Okay, right. No, wait. What?
You can hit command and click on it, or control and click on it, and it'll take you to where it is.
But it's
Oh, it calls itself.
Why though? Uh, this thing is sort of redundant, I guess. Oh no, it was necessary. I think it was necessary.
So on
Yes.
every order that's placed, you open a new WebSocket connection.
Wait, what? Yeah, that's necessary. Um, what? So after we have fetched the orders, like this is necessary. They should be only called once.
Yeah, I don't think you want to create a WebSocket connection on every order.
Hmm. I think this was like this because it was code that I wrote in like 4 a.m. when our deadline was in like 5 hours. I guess this has to be refactored, but where should we put it? Because this thing gets called on the first time it gets fetched. All of the orders have been fetched.
Shouldn't you be putting this on in component did mount all your listeners?
Yes, but the problem was here I've commented we will start. I don't know whatever the other listeners in the callback to prevent errors. There were some errors, I think, but what were they? I cannot remember. It was sort of like a special case. If we have those like up in here,
Mm-hmm.
this was bad. I don't know why. Uh, I guess we'll have to find out again.
What's the difference between fetched orders and placed order?
Basically, fetch orders will be called whenever a person has loaded the page. This is for the administrators right now.
So is
The
that only,
orders
is that only called once
fetch orders and
on
fetch
initial
orders,
load?
yes, it's on initial load only.
I feel like that should be just a post request instead of a WebSocket connection. If it's only going to be on initial load called once.
I guess.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
then
Bateris.
so like this needn't be here.
Instead of emitting, or instead of like listening for it and then emitting it right away, that should just be a post request.
Yeah, but then our controller currently only does WebSocket connections.
I see.
So what should
Can you? So you don't.
do you understand?
Yeah. So do you not want to support post requests?
Yeah.
I guess then you have to do it. Also, why are you emitting before you're listening? Is that on purpose?
You mean it should be like this?
Yeah. Is there a reason why it was that order?
I guess this is technically the better way. I think we were just getting away with it
Okay.
because it was just fast.
Mhm.
Because this makes more sense,
And I think,
so-
I think you want all your WebSocket connections in component did mount. I don't know the context of it, so I don't know what errors that'll cause. But usually you want to create all your listeners only once, and usually component did mount, and then unmount them in component unmount.
Yeah, that's what we do. We unmount them there. Wait, let me actually try real quick. Oh wait, no. Wow, they're gone. I just copied them. Thanks, Vim. Oh, the fuck? Property set accepted orders does not exist on type orders. Oh, it's the
Yeah,
fuck?
you just had an extra curly brace. I just deleted it.
Okay. So I think I run it. Yes, it's running in development right now. Let me just check it out. So it prompts me to log in. Let's see. Oppa. So I'm logging in. Orders. So let me open. There's also this really weird thing with Webpack. Wait, you cannot see Yeah, I can't. I will just send a screenshot of this. This only happens in development. It doesn't happen in production. I sent. Can you see the Discord chat?
Yeah.
This happens, but it's just fixed right after we refresh. I think it has to do with. It says chunk styles mini CSS extract plugin conflict order between, and then just some CSS files. Because we use undesign.
That's weird. I definitely do. When I was doing Next.js, I would randomly have stuff that would happen like that, where it would like fail, and I have no idea why it would do that.
This only occurs in development.
I haven't tried mine in production yet, so I don't know if it's the same. But yeah, in development that happens to me too, and I don't know how to fix it. And it's just like random Next.js stuff that causes it. Like I haven't had problems like that, for example, when I'm using Create React app.
Yeah, like it's sort of like the only we don't get much benefits from Next.js, to be honest, other than the fact that we didn't have to mess around with React Router.
Yeah, I mean the benefit is like the server side rendering setup.
Yeah, definitely, but we don't get much out of it.
Yeah. I mean, your particular project, you may not even need server side rendering.
Yep, exactly.
So you could probably have gotten
Plus,
away with. Yeah.
In fact, it might actually be worse because it might put strain on the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually with Next.js build to a static site though, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. I've done it, but so far I cannot see any problems. Like I'm trying it out right now. Let me just actually try to place an order and see whether I'll get any errors.
Hey, Daddy.
So I'm placing an order, and it did not send the order. The fuck? Wait, can you? Can you like open up localhost? Same column 3000. I mean, well, you get it.
And make sure you start up your server too and share
It
that
is.
port.
But go to /admin. Go to /admin. Localhost 3000 /admin. But before that, let me actually just edit the env file because it's pointing to my local IP rather than localhost. Okay. Well, thanks.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
All right. I sent you some credentials over Discord.
Okay.
so with which you can log in. Did you figure out?
I'm logging in now.
All right. I think I've shown you how we do OAuth before.
Hey, I got your
We do
error.
it. Sorry?
I got that same error that you get.
Yeah. Just refresh. It will be fine.
Okay, I can see burgers.
Yeah, now go to orders.
Does it happen to you every page load?
Every initial page load. It should be fine afterwards.
Yikes.
It's fucked. Yeah, actually refresh because I just cleared the orders from Redis. Did you do it?
No orders placed is what I see now.
Yeah, like there shouldn't be. Okay, so I'll just place one, like right now, and for some reason it does not appear. You see?
Yeah.
However, if I add it in the callback, the way it was before, it should be like hot reloading any second now. Yes, refresh. Yeah, like refresh and I'll place another order. Okay, that's the other one. And I'm placing one in 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Is it there?
Yeah.
No, the new one.
Interesting. It doesn't show up as a WebSocket connection.
Okay, yes, it did show up. So we have to put it as a callback, otherwise it doesn't work.
That's...
But I don't think it's necessary to create a new connection every time.
Yeah, that's weird. So let me just look at the code real quick.
Okay.
So the question is, does the socket just not get called? So like placed order is the one that it should be triggering, right? Or is it
Yes.
accepted order admin?
It's placed order that whenever I place an order from the user side of frontend, it will begin set. It will be sent to you. That's the one you. That's the important one.
I kind of want to just like put one up here and just like add a console log and see if it gets called. Like something like that.
Where?
So like I added a console log to line 31 and just see like if it even gets fired.
Should we comment this one?
Yeah, try commenting it out.
Yeah, okay. So it should be, yes, it's done. So just open up your admin panel and I'll order one. So I just placed one.
All right, so it does get called. Yeah, it does get called. So the other thing is now we want to see what parameters come in with it. So I'm just going to Okay, so now try it again.
Okay. So I'm placing an order 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it looks like you get stuff back too.
So did you get it?
Yeah, and So the WebSocket connection works. So it's some other part of your code then that is broken. So what's interesting, okay, so it's an array, and then there's an array inside.
Oh, so it does come back, but it doesn't get like appended.
So this is going to be an array of orders, and we're just going to call this dot set orders. I mean, we can try this and see. The only difference is I set this above
Yeah.
orders, so I don't know if that matters at all. Yeah, Panasar, I agree. This should probably be a push request, but they have it as a where they're only taking WebSocket connections, so it needs to be done this way. All right, so give it another
So I'm
try.
sending an order in 3, 2, 1.
All right, it looked like it popped up. Is there 5 total?
Yeah, there should be 5.
Yep, I saw it pop up, and I saw the console log.
Yeah, it just popped up. Oh, yeah, I'm watching your stream. So it does work this way, but why?
We could try moving all the socket connections up and see if that changes anything.
I mean, we saw that it doesn't when it was like we saw it before, right?
Yeah.
And so open up your admin panel. We'll just send an order in like 3, 2, 1.
Yep, worked again.
I sent one. It worked again. However, okay. Let me just do another thing. The other, there's like multiple events. I'll just try to verify to accept an order, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll accept one. I'll accept the last one. And we'll get. Did it happen on your side?
Yeah, it looks like
nope,
it
it didn't. Did it?
Yeah,
oh, yes,
like
it did.
There's a flag now.
Yeah. That means it has been accepted. Yeah, go ahead and finish it. Click the flag. It should also update on my side. Yeah, I did. Then was the only problem with placed order? How about you decline the second to last one? Click the little X.
Can't perform a React state update on unmounted component.
Yeah, it worked. You removed it. Oh. The hell?
Component will amount. I mean, you guys are amounting the context. I think that was a hot reloading problem. If I refresh, I can try clicking again and see.
I hope so.
Memory is cheap these days. Yeah, I'm not seeing the warning again. Because all it said was that the component was unmounted when I tried to close it. So I'm guessing that was a hot module reload thing.
I guess. By the way, how should we handle like push notifications? Can you do that like with WebSockets?
I have no idea how push notifications work on for websites. I know there's some PWA stuff that's like related to that, but I have no idea like what the API is. I'm guessing what you do is you fire a WebSocket connection, or not connection, but event, and then you call in like notification.start or send or something. Let me see, like, actually, no, it wouldn't work like that. Okay, you use a service worker.
Yeah, service worker. Apparently, we should like send them through our backend to the. we need to like somehow keep an identifier for each user or something.
Yeah.
We'll look into that, but I'm still wondering. I just want to figure this out. Why does this work and it didn't work before? No, we just put it a we just put a. Wait, what? Wait, hold on a minute. It should work. So wait, is everything fine? What if I just like... Okay, open up your admin panel, alright? Are you there? I'll just make another order.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. I'll make an order in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Okay, can you like cancel this? Cancel it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just accept it. Accept the other one. Did it get through?
No, I'm not seeing an accept on the first one.
Oh, I didn't click it. I'm retarded. No, wait. Okay. It does not work. I'm spamming it. I'm receiving. Like, go ahead and start clicking it.
I'm
You'll
also
see, like...
I'm seeing in the console log every time you click it.
Huh.
It's console logging AA.
Yeah. But why doesn't it... Huh. Oh, the fuck? But canceling works.
So I mean that means the WebSockets are working correctly. Now it's a problem with just your React code and
Yeah.
just the way you're updating the state probably.
But it worked fine when we set it, when it was in the callback.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, I'd recommend taking a look at this, and I actually have to go soon.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, I think you need to look into what I would look into is debugging this the set accepted order and see, because the WebSocket's triggering. This is the
Yeah.
way you want to set it up. You don't want to create the WebSocket in every callback. I'm not sure why it was working, but try this, and I'm gonna have to go soon.
All right. Thank you very much for your help and code review.
No problem. I hope it was helpful.
Yes, it was.
Cool. All right.
Well,
Unless there's anything else, I'm gonna peace out.
I mean, if there is, your Discord, I'll just ask in your ask the questions channel.
Sounds good. Thanks for being one of the first people to try out compile time.
Thanks to. Bye.
See ya. You understood nothing. We were just talking about WebSockets basically. And I guess we can disconnect now. The DevOps was crazy. We didn't end up doing too much DevOps. We just kind of basically got TypeScript compiled, and what else did we do? Making sure it works. How does this session work? So I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it, but I think what I want to do going forward is basically create like a form or something where people can sign up, and people can get like time slots, and basically I'll pair program with you and answer questions that you have in your project. So I'm going to need to create like some kind of form or something for next week, and then I will post it in Discord. So if you're not in Discord, I'll link it there. So make sure you're in there. I think you need a time box each session. Agreed. Yeah, what I need is I wanted to set it up so like I have someone that's like set up right afterwards as well. So there's not as much like there's not like as much, I don't know, downtime. Can you vote on who gets pair programmed? I think at first we'll just like take everyone, and then if it gets to a point where there is more people than there is time, then we can do voting. That sounds good. All right, guys. Lean coffee. Language tool preference. I mean, anything you want, but the stuff that I'm most knowledgeable in is React, Node, GraphQL, TypeScript, Postgres, that stack, Python. I know Java. I know web dev stuff, like that sort of stuff. Like, you can ask whatever you want. I may or may not know the answer. Oh, lean coffee is a thing. Absolutely, we're not doing assembly. I had to do assembly in college. Ain't doing that again. So I guess I do have some constraints. Nice. By priority. That's cool. All right, guys. I gotta go. It was nice seeing you. Nice stopping by. Nice first session. I'll see you guys later.